In this video, we will see how can we find the slope of a line. So let's dig into, first of all, understanding what. So slope is defined in different ways. We define slope as the ratio of the vertical change to the horizontal change. So m is equal to delta y over delta x. Here's a graph. So on this graph, if you can see that these 2 points can be easily marked, and for these 2 points, the x value changes by 3. So let me just write down the coordinates of those points as well. So this is 0, -1, and this is 3, 1. So you can see that the x value, the y value changes by 2, because from here to here, you see that the y value goes up by 2 units. And the x value increases by 3 units. So from here to here, we have x increases by 1, 2, 3. So we have delta x is equal to 3, delta y is equal to 2. So the slope will be equal to delta y over delta x equal to 2 over 3. So this equation delta y over delta x can also be written as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what does that mean? So here, let's take an example. So we have this point where the coordinates are 0, -2, and 1, 1. So you can choose to call any of those points as 1 and the other becomes 2. So I will say this is the point x1, y1, and this is the point x2, y2. So if I look at this formula, slope is y2 minus y1. So y2 is 1, -1 over x2 is 1 minus 0. So when I solve this out, I get 2 over 1, which is equal to 2. So the slope of this line is 2. So it's the ratio, slope is the ratio of vertical change to horizontal change. It's also the increase or decrease in y for a unit change in x. It's also defined as rise over run, which you can calculate using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We just saw an example. It's also defined as the amount by which the output variable changes for a unit change in the input variable. And it's also called a rate of change. Now, for all practical purposes, we will be using slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 for finding the slope of a line most of the time. Now, what does it mean to say that a line has a positive slope? It means that y increases as x increases. So here's a graph. Pick any point on the line and then pick any other point on the line. So what's going to happen here is that x is increasing. So, but then along the line, what I'm finding is that y is also increasing. So when you have a line for which y increases as x increases, you would say the line has a positive slope. So here's another line for which you can see that the slope is positive. Negative slope would be when y decreases when x increases. So please make sure that you're always making sure that x always increases. So x increases as you move from left to right, but then the y values will actually decrease. So this is a graph where the slope is negative. So let's see another slope, a line where the slope is negative. Then we can also have lines with zero slope. So those are horizontal lines. So it's a line which is horizontal has slope equal to 0. So here's another example of a line with zero slope. And then slope can also be undefined. So if a line is vertical, then if it's a line is parallel to the y-axis, then the slope of that line would be undefined. So here's another graph with an undefined line slope. So we want to find the slope of this line, and we go to this point right here, and we see that the coordinates of this point are 0, -1, and we see this point here, the coordinates of this point are 3, 0. So I can go and use the formula slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I can call either of those points as 1 or 2. So let me just say that this is x1 and y1, and let me say this is x2, y2. So slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that gives me negative 1 over negative 3, and a negative divided by a negative equals positive. So the slope of this line is 1 over 3. Here's another line. Let's see if we can find the slope of this line. So we write the coordinates of this point 0, negative 3, and negative 4 comma 0, and we will say this is x1 and this is y1. This would be x2, y2. Now remember, we can call this as x2, y2. So either of the points could be x1, y1. The other point becomes y2, x2, y2. So we say slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is negative 3 and y1 is 0. x2 is 0 and x1 is negative 4. So minus negative 4. That gives me negative 3 over 4, and a negative divided by a positive is negative. So the slope of this line is negative 3 over 4. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up sign, subscribe to this channel by hitting the icon, and don't forget to turn notifications by hitting the bell icon. We need your input to decide what topics to make video on. Please write us an email at info@sageeducational.com. And if you have a question, you have a problem that you're not able to solve, send us that problem. We will make a video solution for that problem as well. Contact us if you need academic help. We provide in-person and online tutoring for all subjects.